Major news sources used the pictures and claimed they were from China. UFO sightings continued to make news in China for the following months. The UFO that closed the airport has yet to be explained by authorities. Brazil also made worldwide headlines when in August their government ordered its Air Force and civilian pilots to officially report UFO sightings. Although they said they did not have the resources to investigate these cases, they did take them seriously. In nearby Argentina, UFO research group Sephora was able to hand their president's chief of security a 10-page report on UFOs. Admitting that public pressure was a factor, in December, Argentina announced that it would not only collect UFO reports, but also form a commission to review them. Also in December, New Zealand released UFO files from 1954 up to 2009. An Air Force spokesperson said that they did not have the resources to investigate these UFO sightings and would not make any further comments regarding the files. The United Nations has even gotten into the UFO news mix, with a story that hit the press in September 2010 reporting that they would be appointing an ambassador to extraterrestrials. Later, the UN denied the story. However, just last month, in an esteemed scientific journal titled The Philosophical Transactions of the Royal Society, scientists suggested the UN should be charged with a plan to deal with extraterrestrials when contact is made. Another important event took place back in September. Robert Hastings and retired Air Force Captain Robert Salas held a press conference at the National Press Club in Washington, D.C., presenting testimony from several retired Air Force servicemen who claimed to have witnessed UFOs while in service at bases where nuclear arms were stored. The event received worldwide media coverage. UFO news took New York by storm after sightings on October 13th. Many attribute the sightings to balloons that were launched in several areas around the city. However, this sighting may have been predicted. Royal Canadian Air Force captain and UFO researcher Stanley Fulham claimed in his book Challenges of Change that UFOs would be seen over several major cities on October 13th. Although New York was the only major city with UFO sightings hitting the media, many believe he was right.
The ballot initiative is a proposed ordinance for the city of Denver that would create a commission that would essentially serve as a citizens' task force to take on the role of informing the public about visitations by extraterrestrial intelligent beings to our planet.
After years of hard work, Jeff Peckman's ballot initiative in Denver to create a city-level extraterrestrial commission was finally voted upon in November. Unfortunately, 84% of the voters voted against the initiative.
If this initiative doesn't pass, there's always going to be a variety of ways to inform the public.
Inspired by Peckman's efforts, author and researcher Michael Luckman announced to the media that he would try to pass a similar initiative in New York, which was still abuzz with UFO news from the sightings in October. In December, NASA created a media frenzy when it announced a press conference on extraterrestrial life, only to present arsenic-based microscopic life being found in a lake in California. Dubbed the Silver Surfer UFO, mysterious video was taken in California on December 1st, one of the witnesses being basketball star Manu Ginobili. Amid a wave of fireball objects being reported around the country, the sighting created excitement until the mystery was solved when it was discovered that the Red Bull skydiving team was performing a nighttime demonstration using flares. Although this sighting turned out to be a case of mistaken identity, it did not turn out to be a hoax using sea monkeys, as suggested by Bill Nye the Science Guy. The WikiLeaks cables were also making a lot of news in December when founder Julian Assange told the press that there were some references to UFOs in yet-to-be-published confidential files. Although in his quote regarding UFOs he stated, quote, "Many weirdos email us about UFOs or how they discovered they were the Antichrist whilst talking with their ex-wife at a garden party over a pot plant," end quote. The media was ablaze with headlines about soon-to-be-released UFO files. Thus far, a few mentions about popular UFO news stories are the only UFO-related cables to be released. Another big story this year was the release of a book by Leslie Kean titled UFOs, Generals, Pilots, and Government Officials Go on the Record. Not only did the book get media attention, it also made it to the New York Times bestseller list. The book contains first-hand accounts from credible witnesses such as officials from NASA, the FAA, and state and federal governments. Other great UFO books were also released this year, some being UFO Case Files of Russia by Paul Stonehill and Philip Mantle, Light at the End of the Tunnel, A Survival Plan for the Human Species by Paul Hellyer, Ufologia Aeronautica by Captain Rodrigo Bravo of the Chilean Army, The Circle of the Gods by the prominent Mexican politician and daughter of Diego Rivera, Guadalupe Rivera Marin, and most recently, Wonders in the Sky, Unexplained Aerial Objects from Antiquity to Modern Times, a book by Chris Abeck and Jacques Vallée. This past December also marked the 30th anniversary of the Rendlesham Forest incident. We are very proud to have 3 of the witnesses to that event participating in the Congress this year: Charles Haupt, James Peniston, and John Burroughs. We were not able to include every event and book from 2010, and you can see it was a busy year. However, you can find these and many other UFO stories at openminds.tv.
And that, of course, is Alejandro Rojas of Open Minds magazine, and he produced that specifically for the International UFO Congress, and you can go to openminds.tv to check that out. Now that we're in full swing of the International UFO Virtual Congress, let's just listen to what Arizona NBC News has to say about us over here.
Also tonight, as the shuttle lifts off for the stars, a UFO convention descends on the valley. We've seen our share of weird things, the bizarre lights in the sky, both in 2008 and, of course, the infamous lights of 1997. But now a former NASA astronaut and administrator believes there is life out there. William Pitts joins us with details you'll see only on 12. William?
Well, there are a lot of people who've seen something. Sometimes it's explainable, sometimes not. But with every light in the sky, there's another believer or one who wants to believe.
UFOs over the Holy Land. Whoa. Lights over Phoenix. More in New York and South Texas. A hoax or something else?
These events are becoming more and more frequent. People are noticing them more and more. And still, we cannot get the powers that be to admit that, yes, they have known about these things too.
So there's 2XL.
There are lots of believers at the International UFO Congress in Fountain Hills. Lots of aliens, lots of, well, other unexplainable things. The Phoenix lights are a big topic. Back in 1997, hundreds, even thousands of people saw these lights over the valley. The Air Force said they were flares, but few people here buy that.
They would like to make contact with us once they believe that we would not blow them out of the sky if they were to come down and say, hi, how are you?
But don't think it's all crystal skulls and mythology. Some very unexpected people say there's something more out there. Apollo 14 astronaut Dr. Edgar Mitchell walked on the moon and has said for years that aliens are out there.
We have wondered, were we alone in the universe forever? Only in our period do we really have evidence, no, we're not alone.
Even the man in charge of NASA, Administrator Charles Bolden, agrees. Kind of.
I believe that there is very likely other life somewhere else in the universe. I just don't have any evidence to back that up. But Edgar is one who, contrary to my observations, actually claims to have evidence.
But whether there's a cover-up, whether aliens are real, or if it's just a series of huge hoaxes, thousands of people are convinced they've seen something out there.
And right here are some more famous people who say they've seen something. Jimmy Carter, Ronald Reagan, and of course former Governor Fife Symington, who saw the Phoenix lights.
All right, now here's the question. What about the rest of us? Are there studies out there?
There is a study from 2007 that polled a bunch of people, and apparently a third of people agree that they believe in UFOs and ghosts.
Or something.
Or something.
Or something.
Anything.
All right, William.
And there you go. That is what's going on in the Arizona news as we are here taking part in the virtual International UFO Congress in Scottsdale, Arizona. I'm your host, Mr. Justin Brown, on CKDU 88.1 FM, on MySpace, YouTube, Blogspot, Twitter, Blog Talk, and CKDU, iTunes, and right here, Eastlink 851. We're all over the place, all over the world. Now it's time for my disclaimer, my caveat. I make no profit off of the playing of clips and interviews with people and promotional magazines therein. I am not affiliated with Open Minds. I am affiliated with MUFON. The spread of truth, and I believe truth should be free. That is the true path, the true way, in my own opinion. Now, if you want to get the individual discs of each of the speakers, they're $15 from openminds.tv. Yes, I'm helping you out. People who want to hear this stuff, go check that out. And Open Minds, I'm helping you too. So I'm not making any money off this. If you want to buy the entire Congress DVD set, it's $299. Or you can continue on with me in the virtual tour and get our free subscription to Truth. Quick synopsis. Here we go with a little introduction by MUFON director, Mr. Clifford Clift.
Hi, my name is Clifford Clift. I'm the international director of the Mutual UFO Network, MUFON. MUFON is comprised of over 3,000 members worldwide, represented in 25 countries. We have over 1,000 trained field investigators, all volunteers. These people volunteer their time, their effort, and their money in an effort for MUFON to fulfill our mission, the scientific study of UFOs for the benefit of humanity. We average 500 sighting reports a month. Of that 500, we have approximately 100 that we can truly say are unidentified. Of that 100, 13 usually include a landing or a very close proximity to a UFO. And then we also have every month 2 or 3 entities sighted on the ground. These are very exciting and very, very good cases. As we move into the future, MUFON is using better scientific equipment to help us analyze the data that our investigators are gleaning from the field. This too is exciting. I would like to thank the International UFO Congress for what they're doing in helping spread the word about the UFO phenomenon to the public. The Congress and the MUFON Symposium are the two most well thought of UFO conferences held in the United States. Our symposium will be held in Irvine, California, the end of July. We would like for you to attend that. And now, thank you folks for being here, and see you in Irvine.
Now, for our IUFOC overview, here we go to Open Minds and their correspondent right here on the Unified Field. Let's go, IUFOC 2011.
Hi, I'm Christopher O'Brien, and welcome to the 2011 International UFO Congress outside of Scottsdale, Arizona. 20 years ago, a group of ufologists gathered in Tucson with the idea and vision to share data with one another, network, and most importantly, educate the public about UFOs. Now, 20 years later, Open Mind Productions features the 2011 International UFO Congress here at the Fort McDowell Resort. Over the course of the week, I will be bringing you exclusive interviews with the speakers, show you excerpts from their presentations, and also give you an idea of the general goings-ons here. First of all, let's take a look at what it takes to put an event like this on. We're with Maureen Ellsbury, the center of the hurricane here at the UFO Congress. Maureen, what a job you're doing here. I'm so proud of you. It must be incredibly difficult to pull an event like this off. Why don't you tell us about it?
Oh, it took a lot of hours, a lot of manpower. We had a lot of great people helping us out. We've been putting in, 16-plus hour days and trying to get all the pieces of the puzzle to have this 20th year be such a memorable event. And the staff at Open Minds has been just working their tails off.
We have a team of about 10 to 15 people who all put it together with different tasks assigned to them, from setting up cameras, taping down feet and feet and feet of cable with lots and lots of gaffer's tape, putting up pipe and drape, the stage, everything. Everybody's got a job, but everybody helps with every other job too. So it's a not well-oiled machine, but it's a machine.
Just to give our viewers an idea of what a huge job that you've undertaken here, why don't you give us a rundown of some of the things that you've had to deal with here?
Okay, well, it all started out with trying to come up with